Tacoma Mayor Victoria Woodards delivers the State of the City address.
The traffic flow has shifted through the Lincoln District.
And work is beginning on the power line replacement project along North 21st Street.
All that and more coming up next on Tacoma Report. Hello, I'm Angie Foster.
And I'm Laura Proctor. Welcome to this edition of Tacoma Report. Tacoma Mayor Victoria Woodards hosted the 2018 State of the City address recently at her high school alma mater, Lincoln High School. During the free community event, Mayor Woodards spoke on the theme, Our Tacoma, Our City, Our Success, while reflecting on her first 100 days in office.
I challenge all of you to harness the unparalleled power of your passion for Tacoma and to take decisive actions to realize your vision for our city.
The State of the City address can be viewed from anywhere on a device with internet access at cityoftacoma.org/State of the City. You can also watch it right here on TV Tacoma, which is carried on both the Click and Comcast cable systems.
The City of Tacoma is a great place to live, work, and play. And now it's also being recognized for its promotion of equity through inclusive civic engagement. The National Civic Lead has announced that Tacoma has been named one of the 20 finalists for the 2018 All-American City Award.
Here in the Office of Equity and Human Rights, inclusiveness and equity is important to all of the work that we do. We have made a lot of progress, but there's so much more that we intend to achieve. So in addition to sending our team to Denver to highlight the great work of the City of Tacoma, we have an additional goal of listening and learning from all of the other cities. We don't have all of the right answers yet, but we do intend to keep asking the right questions.
The city had previously won the All-America City Award, which is the country's oldest community recognition program, in 1956, 1984, and 1998. More information about the city's Office of Equity and Human Rights is available at cityoftacoma.org/OEHR. Tacoma's Public Works Department has been very busy with all of the projects taking place throughout the city. Officials recently provided an update on the Tacoma Streets Initiative. Stacy Ellifrit has more on last year's accomplishments, as well as details around their work plan for this year.
Every year, the city's Public Works Department submits a Tacoma Streets Initiative progress report to lay out the efforts made in the last year to maintain city streets.
We got a lot done this year. We were a little bit short of what we thought we'd get done, but we ended up about 550 blocks maintained. We feel pretty good about what we got done in 17. We were short because a few of our projects that we put out to contract got out a little bit late, but those will just get done here in the next few months, and we feel that 18 will be an especially large year for us.
In general, work is categorized as street maintenance or capital projects.
Maintenance projects are generally smaller projects where we're really replacing and fixing what already exists out there. These are just items that we need to do to keep the street in good condition. Capital projects are generally adding new facilities to the transportation network, and they're generally higher priced projects. With that, they take a longer time to design and then construct. So when we are able, we try to get grant funding to help us pay for those improvements, so we're not shouldering all that burden on our own.
Crews are starting to ramp up now for a big year of construction activity.
2018 is going to be a big year for us. Again, like I mentioned earlier, we'll have some projects that we started in 17 wrapping up, but we also have about 800 blocks that we expect to get maintained in 2018. A lot of that is a result of work that needed to be done in 16 and 17 to identify projects and to get utilities bought in on those projects and then designing them. So we'll see those projects really, the public will start to see those projects getting constructed in 18. So it'll be a big year for us.
The Tacoma Streets Initiative interactive dashboard is updated on a monthly basis and is the place to go for more information on current or upcoming projects.
It's a good place for people to look to see what projects are happening in their neighborhood. If they see something going on in the street, it's a good place to check to see to find out what that project is. So it's a good resource for people to use.
For Tacoma Report, I'm Stacey Ellifrit.
To find out more about the Tacoma Streets Initiative and to view the projects map, visit the city's site. Those who frequent the Lincoln Business District may have noticed that traffic has shifted to the south side of South 38th Street.
Construction will now focus on the north side of the street from South J Street to South Fawcett Avenue. This work is part of the Lincoln District Streetscape project and will include minor utility upgrades, pedestrian amenities, and sidewalk improvements. Construction on this phase is expected to run through July. Visit the Lincoln District Streetscape site to learn more. After the break, we'll check in on a Tacoma Public Utilities program geared for kids.
And a challenge has been issued to help conserve water. All that and more right after this.
Getting kids excited about studying science, technology, engineering, and math can be a challenge, but a 7-week effort to show some Tacoma kids how STEM education can impact their future has just wrapped up with the graduation of the very first TPU Academy. 15 local youngsters recently received diplomas and got to meet utility executives and Mayor Victoria Woodards. During the TPU Academy, they learned all about Tacoma Rail, Tacoma Water, and Tacoma Power. TPU employees led them on tours and classroom sessions to show them the kind of cool jobs they could have by taking an interest in STEM-related classwork. The TPU Academy is a unique partnership between TPU and the Boys and Girls Clubs of South Puget Sound.
On the television, you see programs, people watch shows about police officers, about hospitals, about attorneys. You don't see a lot of shows that the kids are watching around working at a public utility. So they may not be exposed to it to really think about, that's a great opportunity. I'd like to maybe take the right steps in my schooling and to follow through and pursue a career there. So this is really an exciting program.
As the very first TPU Academy, it may serve as a model for future outreach programs for young people in our community. Like many employers, the utility industry is potentially facing a shortage of skilled workers as more and more baby boomers retire.
Preliminary work has started on a major power line replacement project through North Tacoma that could cause some traffic disruptions in the coming months. Tacoma Power crews have been preparing for a project to replace the 93-year-old steel-powered transmission towers along North 21st Street. Initial work involves removal of some wood poles and power lines from the neighborhood south of the Proctor District. Eventually, Tacoma Power will also replace 19 deteriorating structures with 12 sleek new steel poles along North 21st between Pearl Street and North Adams Street. The work will cause some traffic disruptions later this spring. Tacoma Power has established a webpage to keep you updated on the project. Visit mytpu.org/21 Street for more information. Tacoma Power just won another major award for doing a great job in keeping trees away from overhead power lines. This is the 13th year in a row that the National Arbor Day Foundation bestowed a Tree Line Award to Tacoma Power for its comprehensive tree trimming program. John Phillips has more.
The trees keep right on growing. We have to keep right on trimming.
The job never ends. Tacoma Power has 2 crews of its own and 4 contract crews trimming trees and branches back from power lines every workday all year long.
Nice patch of alders, huh?
Yeah. Tacoma Power arborist Mike Snyder estimates they work on 600 trees a week. It takes them 4 years to trim hundreds of miles of Tacoma Power's transmission and distribution right-of-way. Then they start all over.
Every 4 years we do a heavy trim on the circuits we do, and every 2 years we do a hot spot for trees that are basically cycle busters. They've been planted in the wrong place.
In the 3 decades since it was started, Tacoma Power's robust tree trimming program has helped reduce the number and severity of power outages, especially during the winter months.
Absolute worst tree in the worst spot. You know, extremely fast-growing trees right directly underneath the line. So we have to spend a lot of time every couple of years retopping these.
The crews have worked on these cycle busters along Tacoma Power's right-of-way many times. They're not utility friendly, and the trimming that must be done is not very good for the health of the trees.
A lot of times the customers do not look up. They'll plant that tree and it doesn't become an issue for 5 or 10 years until it's up in our wires and we're out there trimming it.
With the arrival of yard and garden season, Tacoma Power hopes customers will consider using utility-friendly species when planting yards. Tacoma Power's website has a list of plantings to consider. You can also visit Tacoma Power's Small Tree Arboretum at North 26th and Pearl Street. You can get an idea of what the mature tree will look like before you buy at a nursery. The right tree in the right place can help us all keep the power system more reliable. For Tacoma Report, I'm John Phillips.
You can get more information in the outage safety section of Tacoma Power's website. Customers can also have hazard trees under power lines on Tacoma Power's right-of-way removed by contacting the utility.
The Winter Olympics may have just finished up, but even the people who provide water to our homes and businesses have their own version of occupational Olympics. They compete in events like Hydrant Hysteria and Meter Madness. Tacoma Water employees will be using their skills to compete with crews from other water utilities around the region later this month after qualifying in those events recently. For assembling a water meter from a bucket of parts, Carlos Camacho had the best time and will go on to regionals. Zach Shoemaker placed second. For reassembling a fire hydrant, the team of Conan Kempf and Troy Newman will advance. Winners could eventually move on to compete nationally at the American Water Works Association convention later this year. Tacoma Mayor Victoria Woodards is encouraging all residents to participate in another kind of competition. You can help save water, reduce pollution, and even win some prizes. During April, we are all being encouraged to take a pledge to use our water resource more wisely. By taking the pledge and getting your friends involved, the mayor hopes we can win this year's Wyland National Mayor's Challenge for water conservation.
I'm excited to be participating in the National Mayor's Challenge for Water Conservation during the month of April. And I'm encouraging all citizens of Tacoma to do full loads of laundry, to waste less food, to wash less cars, but to really conserve water. This is our opportunity to protect our environment, and I know that Tacoma citizens will support this. I challenge you to do the right thing during the month of April.
It's an annual competition between comparable sized cities to get the most pledges. It's put on by the Wyland National Environmental Foundation. Sponsors are offering hundreds of prizes, such as a new Toyota RAV4 hybrid vehicle for charities in the winning community and for individuals who take the pledge. You only have until April 30th to enter. To take the pledge and learn more, just go online to mywaterpledge.com. If you enjoy spending time at Point Defiance Park, officials are asking for your help.
When we come back from the break, we'll find out about identifying all of the living creatures that call the park home. Stay with us.
Metro Parks Tacoma is inviting the community to discover just how many different living organisms make their home in Point Defiance Park.
Curious volunteers can join staff and students from multiple organizations on April 27th and 28th for a biodiversity census.
We're going to be doing a BioBlitz, which is a 24-hour inventory of all the life that's in Point Defiance Park. The SAMI students are helping us with that, the zoo staff, the Metro Park staff in Point Defiance Park, including their park ranger, and we're bringing in experts from all over the region to help us identify all sorts of different animals.
No experience is necessary besides a desire to learn and help others. Check out the BioBlitz page today to sign up to volunteer. Not too far from Point Defiance Park is the Les Davis Fishing Pier. Located along the Reston Way waterfront, it's been an area attraction for 35 years. As Dave Gordon reports, the functionality and access provides visitors with the chance to grab a great Commencement Bay view or jig for squid.
Jutting out into Commencement Bay along Tacoma's Ruston Way waterfront is a maritime gem many take for granted, the Les Davis Fishing Pier. This 300-foot structure of wood, steel, and concrete is a joint project built by the City of Tacoma and the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife. It's more than a pier to hook the big one. It's also a tourist curiosity for folks to get out on the planks to capture those gorgeous scenic views of our area.
Well, it's my first time here in Washington, and I think it's a very cool experience to be out here. And it has a beautiful view, too. It's something different. The weather is definitely different.
I liked Lake Davy Pier because there isn't too many people and the pier is really big, so I can be by myself.
This structure was built in 1983 and is named for an avid Tacoma fisherman and owner of a local fishing tackle company, Les Davis. The pier stands among the rocks and the sand of the bay, where fishing ranges from sea perch and flounder to crab and even squid.
Well, I started fishing just last summer. I was trying to catch salmon after I started getting a hang of it, but I caught a lot of bottom fish. I caught a lot of rockfish that I had to throw back.
It's not to say that the pier, which actually looks like a giant T, isn't exactly a quiet day on the water. There's a railway along the shore and a well-traveled road for the motorists leading to the heart of the city.
But this pier is probably by far one of the biggest and the quietest, so I like it.
It was built for fishing, complete with fish cleaning stations, rod holders, seating, and lots of pigeons.
In addition to being a fishing pier, Les Davis also has a concession area, a picnic area, a wonderful place to go hiking and walking, and even a scuba launch place too. Right here in Tacoma. For Tacoma Report, I'm Dave Gordon.
Discover more on what the Les Davis Pier offers visitors by going to the Metro Parks Tacoma website.
The city in Pierce County recently made a request for information to community organizations who may be interested in providing homeless services, including the operation of a drop-in center for people experiencing homelessness and street outreach and overnight emergency sheltering for young adults. Once this information has been gathered, officials will evaluate it and determine a course of action. We'll bring you an update on a future episode of Tacoma Report. The city has worked closely with the community to develop goals and strategies for the Tacoma Mall Neighborhood Sub-Area Plan. Now's the time to give comment on these plans that will be used to guide growth while promoting the neighborhood's distinct qualities. Public comment is being accepted now through Tuesday, April 24th. Comments can be submitted to the city clerk's office or given at the public hearing being held during the city council meeting on the 24th. To review the plan and other related items, visit the project website. We have one more segment to go on this edition of Tacoma Report.
And when we come back, we'll find out when the City of Destiny Awards will be taking place, and if you need a bike, we know just where to go. We'll tell you all about it. The City of Tacoma invites Tacoma artists working in and across all artistic disciplines to apply to participate in Public Art, Public Action. It's a free social practice training program in which participants will learn about socially engaged strategies and create a series of temporary projects responsive to community needs within the Tacoma Mall area.
We have a lot of really creative people, artists working in Tacoma. We believe that artists can connect with community in unique and really powerful ways. So this training is an opportunity for us to give our local artists a little bit more foundation to do that kind of creative civic work with municipal agencies, with communities, with businesses, with other partners, and really look at some of the issues that we're facing and some of the opportunities in the city as well.
Selected artists will be expected to actively participate in the training program, which includes mandatory training sessions in June. Participation in the training program is free. For details, go to cityoftacoma.org/artsops.
Bike Month is right around the corner. During the month of May, the city partners with Pierce County and Pierce Transit to celebrate a full month of bicycle-related activities. Bike Month kicks off on Saturday, April 28th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with the Tacoma Bike Swap. This free event is one of the largest of its kind in the South Sound and takes place at the University of Puget Sound. The bike swap is great for attendees who are looking to buy or sell bikes and bike-related accessories. For more information about this and other events, visit the city's site.
And finally, Mayor Victoria Woodards and the City Council will recognize Tacoma's top volunteers during this year's annual City of Destiny Awards on Friday, June 22nd from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Star Center. The event will highlight community members across 14 categories, including 3 new categories, one recognizing a disability advocate, which will receive special recognition by the mayor, an Education and Youth Development Award, and a Homeless Advocacy Award. More information can be found at the city's website.
That's all the time we have on this edition of Tacoma Report.
A great way to find out about the services the City of Tacoma has to offer is by going to cityoftacoma.org. Until next time, I'm Angie Foster.
And I'm Laura Proctor. Thanks for watching.